Hey guys, hello. Anyone here? Hey. A second. Okay, I will wait for maybe some. Oh my god. I will maybe wait for some more people before I start giving the feedback. And meanwhile, I can show you something I got from Hataka recently. It's a brand of paints, and I got some cool painting. I don't remember how it's called. Like painting sets. I got some cool painting sets from them for a giveaway. So, and I have very cool onesie today, as you can see. Okay, I'm more presentable right now. Cool. You can see my ears. So yeah. Today is the feedback stream. I think that the next stream I'll do like on Friday or Saturday. I will do about competitions, and like I got some nice lists of topics to talk about on my Discord channel. So I will talk about like how does the competitions looks like, and why is it worth to enter, and what works are good to enter basically. So you could maybe prepare a little bit before entering in the future. Okay, so these are very good. I've been using them for some time, but I got their sets, like my paints look like this because I got mine when they were basically producing them, and so I wasn't able to like do a nice display of these paints when I was painting on stream or something, and they just sent me the proper painting sets recently. I like them very much. They have two sets. I can show you how they look. They have a first set, like this one, has basic colors, red, yellow, green, blue, black and white, and I like them a lot, more for their properties than for the actual colors. Like I really like black and white, of course. They are a little bit like satin, I would say. They are not perfectly matte, but I like them anyway. And these are the base colors, so they are good for mixing and stuff like that. They are good. I like their properties, but I don't like these colors, right? Like, I mean, I'm not very attracted to these kinds of colors, like in general. And I like more colors from their second set, which are these. And I basically love all of them, and I paint with all of them. Especially like this one I was using right now, even for painting the red hair on my Arcane Traveler for my tutorial. So you can see here the effect, and I used it for painting the red hair on my cozy also. So I don't know, I really like this red oxide. This one is really nice, bright green, and this here are pure colors, like pure pigments. And they are very good for mixing, because you don't get, because with mixing with pure pigments, you don't get sometimes the grayness in your mix, and the grayness or gray or dull colors came up when you mix pre-mixed paints which contain white pigment in them already. So these have like, except this one, they have no white pigment in them, and they are pure pigment, so they are perfect for mixing colors. And you have the base colors here, which are these 4, and you can, in theory, you can get any other color by mixing those 4. These 2 are for like saturation, for mixing the values, right? You can desaturate colors or make them brighter or darker with those 2. So this is perfect like base set if you want to mix colors. And these are very good like additional colors, right? And I prefer these colors far more than this because I just don't enjoy mixing that much. And this I use a lot in my painting, like especially this one is my favorite, and this one. These 2 are my favorites really. And I mean I don't use these paints exclusively in my painting, but I use them a lot, and probably in most of my works recently there is at least 2 or 3 of them I used to paint actively, basically. So yeah, and I will have 4 of these sets, so basically 4 of these sets, like one set contains 6 paints, so I have like two completes, 2 sets for two painting sets basically. For giveaway, so I think that I will do a giveaway on my Discord, but I will talk about that more on my next stream. Chimera extension, I haven't painted with chimeras so far, so I have to try them out too. Yeah, but I've heard that chimeras are very nice also. Yeah, but these ones are cool as well, so if you were thinking about Halaka paints, then I recommend. Like they have really nice like quality, and I feel like they are not as popular as other brands just because they are just maybe mostly known in historical or like the reduction modeling. And they made like new line of paints recently, the violet line, and it's created for the display painting purposes. Yes, so this is that, and I will finally have my paints with the right etiquettes. See, yeah, and I've been using them a lot. Yeah. Hey Google, and this is the first announcement, like the incoming giveaway, and since yes, I feel like they are better to use than scale. Like first of all, like the best property of scale 75, at least scale color, is the matte finish, right? But some of the paints are really hard to blend, and they tend to create a grainy finish on the miniature. And with this, you don't have this problem, but some of them are shiny. So, like, maybe not shiny, but more satin finish. So, if you want the perfect matte, you need to supplement the painting with some matte varnish. Like, maybe mix it into the paints if you care about that. So, yeah. But they are really nice. I like to use them in my blending. Like, I like them a lot, so I recommend basically, and that's why I have them for giveaway because if I didn't like them, then I wouldn't get them. Yeah, so this will be for giveaway in the future. Like I think that on Friday I will do on Friday or Saturday I will do the announcement, and I think that I will give away them to people that finished painting something in this month, or maybe like from beginning of February till the first week of March, maybe, just to broaden the like window to participate. But I think that I will do something like this. Yeah. So if you want, then you can try them out, but they will be for the available for the people on my Discord also. So yeah, and this is the first announcement. The second announcement is the next stream will be on Friday or Saturday, and I will be talking about the competitions, as I said before. If you have any particular questions about this topic, then post it on my Discord channel, basically, and I will know to just talk about that, right? And what more? I think that I will proceed further with my feedback. Just let me check out if I have all of the images in my Photoshop. Okay, I think that I have everything. So the feedback stream again. Hey. Okay. Sorry guys, I have to find my way. Okay. So hello in my Inception. We are progressing with our feedback streams, and I will start maybe with something else. Okay, first of all, I would like to put a little bit of a light maybe on the people who finished painting in the last week, and we have really nice submissions here. I won't comment on everything because for example, Flo is my Dreamer Patreon, and I just gave him a lot of feedback before about this work, so I don't know if I should duplicate everything. So I would like just to put a highlight on this one, on this Egilon, and on one more, and on Lesha from Skaz. Okay, I shouldn't do that because my Firefox will make the stream slower. Yes, but this one, and I like both of these works because of a lot of atmosphere and ambience all around, and I'm very good job, guys. I'm really proud of you for finishing those paintings. And I will proceed with our other submissions. So first of all, I wanted to talk. Oh, sorry. Yes, you should. Cookie, you definitely should finish your Egilon. Yes. So I will start with this one. And I want to say that this is really nice painting, and this is a example of maybe the saturated painting. I mean, maybe not the saturated, but less contrasted painting. this one doesn't have that many painted shadows, but the overall blends and colors and just make this very attractive, right? So I really enjoy this and I like the way it's painted. But I just wanted to say that like I wouldn't change a lot here, but for me I think that in comparison with the overall effect, I think that her belly is too much, like it has too much texture and too much definition. And I feel like this whole painting would be perfect if just these muscles here were hey Mateusz, I think that this whole painting would be perfect if only these muscles were a little bit lighter or even just slightly visible. So I would take it off. And in reality, like this is the I decided to comment on this one in the first place just because we will have similar feedback on another painting today. So I just wanted to start with that, and I feel like this would be better this way. Like, you know, you can like keep the definition in similar places, but this here is usually very like there are rare examples of human beings with very visible like indentation between these muscles here, and she definitely is not an example of that human being. Like usually like some strongmans, maybe like people with a very low amount of fat in their bodies and very dehydrated, have the visible six packs, right? Yeah. Hey Studio Super Chroma, nice to have you here. So I would reduce this amount of visible muscle because she is not a strong woman, right? Especially judging by the rest of her body. So, and I feel like people have a tendency to I can move it here. People have tendency to overdo the muscles, especially if they are not that maybe experienced with painting. So this is something we should care, especially like even me when I was painting my box art for Moth from Ignis Art. I at first I painted too strong shadow on her biceps, and I had to later come back and put it like tone it down a little bit. So everyone makes this mistake, and it's very common, and we just should have this on our minds that even if we know that the muscles exist somewhere, they usually are very subtle and very delicately, like not very strong, not strongly shadowed. So we should have in our mind that the fact that we should be very like subtle when painting them. Hey Nighthawk. Yes, so this is my comment for this one, and you can see like right now it's really sticking out, and when we put it down a little bit, like everything is matching, like the finish on all of the elements really works nicely together. So, and actually the texture on her trousers on her shorts is popping up more, just because it's not her abs are just are out of place a little bit, and is very like grabbing our attention, because we know that maybe something is not completely right with this with her like physicality. And the trousers, which are very nicely painted, and the texture is spot on actually. They are just like the noise of her belly is taking out the attention from her trousers. And if we reduct the abs muscles, then we can see the shorts really nicely. So you can see here, like, this is the kind of contrast between textures. So it's good to have it on our minds when we are painting. So yes, this is the comment for this one. And now I will go from the beginning. So here we have the similar case, I would say, and this is work in progress. This is not finished. The previous one was finished, I think. This one is work in progress, right? So the color scheme is very good. Like the red and the blues are very nice contrast. And the painting is going in the right direction, and I like that the shadows are a little bit more like I don't know, courageous maybe. Like the painter is not like staying back and want to be more advanced in this direction, but I would say that that the definition of the shadows on her face is not completely correct, maybe. And again, I would make it more like subtle. So especially here, I would take it down a little bit. See? Because in theory, and this is another very like common mistake between painters and between more experienced painters as well, because we know that we have like our cheekbones are sticking out from our faces, and we know that here is this area here should be more shadowed, right? So we tend to separate our chin and our cheekbones with too strong shadowing, and in reality it's very, very subtle, just like our muscles everywhere else on our bodies. So doing very strong shadow here is not complementing the face topography, basically. And it's a very popular mistake. Many people do that, and we just should remember that this is in reality this looks like one continuous space. Hey, Welton Wanderer, I really like this nick. And we shouldn't paint like the line under our cheekbones. So this would help a lot, I feel like, and I think that like the shadows over here are too strong. Like they are not matching the direction of light, because I feel like we our under eyes get shadow in similar shape when our faces are lit from the bottom, right? And here she has the horizontal light, so she shouldn't have that strong shadows under her eyes. It should be much lighter. So again here and here. See, like before I feel like you had a problem, and because this light, like this shape this triangle was placed too low on her face, and in theory she should have a triangle of highlight over here, but it should be higher. And if we if we take back these shadows on her under eyes, then it automatically gets a little bit higher, right? And everything starts working much better. Hey Cravalla. So this is my like comment about the shadows. I actually would take these shadows and do it more like this. Like, I'm not sure if it's like the designated finished placement of the shadow, so you know, and this comment may be like not very like legit for the painter, because he maybe knows that it's up to change, but I will comment anyway, and I would take it a little bit higher and a little bit maybe blend it out, just so it wouldn't be that strong, right? So I would keep the neck a little bit darker than the face, so that the face would pop out more, and the neck would serve as the background basically to the neck. And then I would keep the more highlight here on the chest, just because the chest has like the different angle and it usually grabs more highlight. So I would do something like this here and here. I think that it's more or less okay. I would maybe tone down a little bit the shadow over here, because it's okay to paint a slight shadow there, but it shouldn't be that dark, because like she doesn't have like this strong angle over here. It's more flat, right? So it should be very subtle. And the sculpt has very pronounced cheekbones, and if you like this effect, then it's okay. We shouldn't change anything. But if you would like to maybe make her shapes more proportional in general, then you can take a blush, some kind of blush color, and paint blush on the cheekbones. Just give me a second to pick the right color. Okay, maybe this would work. And I would take the theoretical blush and just place it on the cheekbones to make them a little bit darker and to balance everything. Especially, see here, like this side of face has like more balanced cheekbone, just because the shadow is going more in the straight line, and here the shadow gets lost just under the middle of the cheekbone, so the middle part is looking like it's sticking out more. Like this shadow here is rounding up the cheekbone, so by adding the blush we're reducing this effect a little bit. But I would to even more, I would just take the shadow and paint it a little bit higher, just so it would be even on the both sides of her face, right? So something like this, and the usually the very puffy cheekbones are popular among the people who get a lot of Botox, so it's not very natural, and it's very caricatural even. So it's I think that it would be beneficial for this painting to even it out a little bit, because the anatomy will look more natural and will be like easier to consume for us. Hey El Diablo. And what more? I think that okay, one more comment, but like it's not very applicable for this sculpt, but overall for other sculpts also. People tend to, at least in my opinion, people tend to paint female like woman lips, like, one second, I will paint the shape, right, basically as a example. Like this is the bottom lip, and usually when we have the lip, it goes like this from corner to corner, right? Oh, thank you for the ride. Hey guys, nice to have you here. And so basically, people, when we have the real lips, like we have the long top lip and then the rounded bottom lip, but the round shape starts from the corners and it goes like in the slight angle, right? So it's very harmonious. Like it's very proportional and it works, just basically looks natural. And people tend to paint miniature lips like that. And for me this is a big no-no. And here you have the example of this, but the shape goes from here and basically it's just too much like angular. Hey. It's too angular in my opinion, and I know that this is the issue of this sculpt a little bit, at least I think so, judging by this angle of the sculpt, but you can change the sculpt with your painting, so you can take some things away or add them, and I would take the base color of the skin and make it a little bit like this, right, to make it more natural again. You know, if your goal is to paint more caricatural miniature, then it's okay as it is. Hey guys, thank you again, thank you, big thanks for the ride. It's nice to have you here. And again, if your goal is to paint more caricatural character, or maybe some kind of Pixar character or something like that, and then it's completely fine. But you know, if you want to paint something natural, then it's good to balance stuff like that. And aside changing the shape of the lips with modulation of the shape of the bottom lip, you can also add more roundness to her top lip, right? And especially when we're painting like the dark lips, and this is the knowledge that usually men don't acquire in any way, shape or form, because they don't do makeup. When we paint lips with dark color, we shouldn't follow the natural shape of the natural curves of lips, and we should overpaint a little bit, just because when we add dark color to our lips, we change the natural proportion of the face, because usually dark color makes everything look smaller, especially on our faces, where usually our natural proportions and overall like different features are very subtle, and the just adding some even slight shadows may change things a lot. And when we just take very dark red, for example, and we decide to place it on our lips, it's like very strong hit of color, and it changes a lot the overall look of the lip, and it makes the lip much smaller. So to counterbalance it, we should paint the red color a little bit more on the outside of the natural curves of the lips. So you shouldn't be afraid to add more color over there, because it won't be that visible anyway. Like, we won't be able to see that it's overpainted, and it will just make the face look balanced again. You see? Like, this is, we made the bottom lip a little bit smaller and the top lip a little bit bigger, and it may see, like, from the painter's perspective, like very big changes, but in reality the size of the spot of color is the same, but everything looks better and more natural. And I know that it's painting in Photoshop, so I'm not painting the actual sculpt, and sometimes painting the sculpt makes everything like harder, because the sculpt sometimes is not optimal and not very proportional, but this is the charm of painting the sculpt. We sometimes have to modulate the sculpt with our painting, right? So you shouldn't be afraid to overpaint some elements or underpaint some other, just to change to get the outcome you're aiming for. So yes, I think that these are my main comments for this one, because everything, like the face was painted to the most level, I would say here, so I don't think that I have to comment on anything else. So yeah, but this is my issue with painting the lips, so I hope that this will be constructive for you. Sorry if I dwelled on it too much. Okay, so this one, here we have example of a non-metallic metal feedback. I hope that you will like it. So last time, on my last stream, I talked about the placement of the highlights on non-metallic metal, and here we have the same issue. Like, this is painted quite okay, quite nicely, but everything is upside down basically, because we can assume, because it's visible here, that the shadow here is going from the top direction, right? It's a horizontal light, so light is hitting everything from the top side, but the metal is painted in a way suggesting to us that the light is coming from the bottom, because the light parts are on the bottom. And in reality, when the light comes from the top, we should paint it on the top, right? So here, 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 and here. Same thing here. Like, when we have this shape here, like this I don't remember how this is called. In Polish, it's kwadrat. We have this four-cornered shape, and why the highlight is the strongest in this corner, I don't know. It should be the strongest over here, because this part here is like raised to the top side the most. So we should have the highlight over here. Yes, it's square. Thank you. Sorry, I will redo it with the better color maybe, so it would be just a better feedback. Okay, so we should have the highlights here. Here is the good placement, but it should be a little bit broader. Here I would leave it as it is. And with non-metallic metal, it's good to have like the very light elements placed next to very dark elements, just to have the contrast in place. But in this case I would make this corner a little bit lighter anyway, and then I would take the dark and place it maybe here and keep this corner light again, just to keep the logics in place, right? Like maybe this, make this darker, something like that. And here again, I wouldn't place this dark corner over here, I would place it here, just to show like the logics. Sorry. Just to keep the logics in place. And here maybe I would do the darker again, and something like this maybe, I'm not sure. But you know, just experiment with the placement, with the correct placement. But adding the lightest corner over here will bring the stronger change anyway. And here, and placing the dark place in the middle, because again, as I said on the previous stream, when we are painting a non-metallic metal, we are not painting the actual metal, we are painting mostly the reflections of the light in the metal, because metal is a reflective not texture, but not space, reflective, I don't remember, sorry guys. Metal has reflective like properties, right? So like with painting every other texture, with painting anything else, we try to show the properties of the thing. Yes, surface material is, but I was looking for the surface, and it's a reflective surface. So with painting like anything else, we are trying to display the properties of that surface we are painting, right? So you can see here, like we have a very good attempt at painting like leather. And we know what this is basically. We know that this is fur, this is leather. The properties are displayed in a really nice way. So we should display the same like amount of care for the properties of metal, right? And the properties of metal are that metal is shiny and it's reflecting the light. So we are not painting like some kind of reflections, but we are trying to show the direction of light, the amount of reflectiveness the metal displays, just to show like the, you know, like the realities for this reality for this model we are creating. So if we have the lighting coming from the top, then if we painted the same lighting on her skin, on the clothing, on the leather, we should paint the same light on metal, right? So we should like take the special care to display this, and you can, with placing the right amount of highlights on metal, you display the lighting much better, because it's basically showing the viewer where the light is coming from. So it's good to think about the direction of light when painting the non-metallic metal, right? Because we are painting the light basically. And again, I will just finish like adding the basic reflections and the and just to show you guys that it will work better. So see, this is the how much better it is. Just changing the reflections and the placing basically the light element on the completely other side that it was painted. Hey, Ciocia Hogata. So yes, and everything else here, like I like. Right now, it's a work in progress picture, so it will change a lot, I think. But I would suggest to like adjust the non-metallic metal to the correct physical properties of this bust. So yeah, but everything else is really nice. I like the skin especially. It's like very I think that here the skin is very smooth skin, works really well with the textured leather and textured shirt, and this is really nice example of the texture contrast. So yes, otherwise a very good example of painting. Okay, we have a orc here, and with this one I like basically with this one I like everything over here we have right now. Like the saturation is really nice. I like this juiciness of the colors, but I would lessen some of the shadows in between the muscles, right? Like the same case as the witch girl, but here we actually have a character that is very muscle, like is very beefed up, right? But even his muscles are very very visible, but I would take a little bit down some of the shadows just to show that the skin is usually not perfectly like coming into the crevices in between the muscles, but usually it's harmoniously, like delicately following the shapes, and we can't see like the indentations between the on the corners between the muscles. So yes, he is jacked. So I would take like the just basic color, and I would leave most of the shadows like on the sides, but I would pick the middle road in between some of the like the sculpt properties, and I would like make it flatter, I would say, maybe like create something like that, maybe just to make it look more like skin basically, and not only like the plastic muscle man. I don't know, something like that maybe. It will just make his skin look like actually skin. Yeah, so something like that. I would maybe take this yellowish green and make it like that. Yeah, stuff like this. I think that I would leave this shadow over here because it matches the sculpt a lot, and I think that his face is actually really nicely painted. So yeah, I would do something like that. Maybe redust. Jesus, I don't know. I have this very strong, like very big problem with the redust, like reduction word today. So yes, something like that. This color here should be a little bit even desaturated, maybe. Just because right now it's I painted this spot of saturated yellow to be like it takes more surface than his face, like the highlights on his face, so it's taking the attention from the face right now. So I would make it a little bit saturated, maybe something like that. Yeah, so I would just making the borders between the muscles not that geometric, basically, and make it everything more blended out and smoother, because it's just too harsh right now. Maybe I overdid it a little bit, but something like that, maybe, especially like these shapes over here, these lines over here. I think that they are way too harsh, and they should be more like subtle, basically. Yeah. And you see, like his face, it's good that he has like very strong crevices accentuated, because like first of all it brings more attention and like more contrast, and second of all like it matters when our mimic in our faces, it matters, basically. It's very important, and it shows that he is really angry. It displays his emotions, and this is how our faces work in reality, right? We get the wrinkles over here, and our eyes changes. So here this strong like crevices and strong shadowing is legit. So I wouldn't change the face. Usually our muscles don't work this way. So muscles are I think a little bit incorrect. I think that this looks a little bit better, maybe. So just go subtle with your muscles, guys. Okay, so this one. This one is painted by Edson, and it's a finished work. And I have basically a similar comment for his muscles over here. Like today we have muscle stream. The main topic is muscles. So I would just lessen them a little bit. They shouldn't be as harsh. Like maybe this here six pack. Okay, I would maybe leave it as it is. But in reality, like especially here, we don't have this kind of muscle showing. In reality, usually it's more flat. At least I think so. That even the strong man or the body fitness guys don't have this visible as strongly. Like maybe we could keep it a little bit in the shadow, but don't show that strong muscles over here. I know that here they may show that much, but I don't think that here. And you see, I like the muscles on his arms because they are way more subtle, basically, and his belly muscles are a little bit too harsh. So go a little bit lighter, guys. Don't overdo your muscles. That's basically a very dramatic body sculpt. Is not always beneficial for your painting. Just because you can see that, like, you know, this is the kind of like a little bit uncanny valley, I would say, because we know that these muscles exist in those places, right? So when we see that they are painted, in theory they are legit for our minds. But we know that like we get like the logical conflict in our heads when we look at them, because we know that that human body have this kind of muscles, especially if the body is very jacked up. But on the other hand, we know that it's too dramatic and too harsh, and we get like this conflict of logic conflict when we look at this kind of painting, and we get the effect of uncanny valley. Like something looks realistic, but it's not that realistic in reality, right? So we just don't take in the information very well. Okay, and maybe this a little darker. I think that I would paint it this way, maybe. You see, he looks way more natural. I think that there's too much somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. Maybe here. Like there is still too much muscle visible, I think. Like this guy is not walking six-pack basically, and before he looked like walking six-pack for at least for me, right? Because like the belly muscle were like dominating the whole painting, and now with lessen belly muscles, we actually see his more of his maybe character, and we perceive him more as a walking human and not just only the six-pack, right? So you know, you have to like display the character and the human being basically. We are painting, and not his muscles only. So you know, just go. Don't go so strong on them. Yeah. Like instead of making your the character you're painting go to the gym like 7 days per week, make him go like 2 or 3 times, and it will be perfect. So yeah, and see, you really can see the difference, right? Like here it looks realistic, but we first of all, like this level of contrast is just bringing the whole attention to his belly right away, and it's not even, we are not even focusing on his six-pack, which may be correct, but we are going here and here, and I think that most people will think like, does this work this way? Really? Should that work this way? Maybe I should go and Google some references. I feel like I should check it out. And this is not the route our mind should take when looking at the miniature, right? So take this off, and we can see, we can focus more on his head, on his shoulder, and on his chest. So yeah, and everything else here is nicely painted, I would say. I like everything else, like especially the level of detail everywhere is really nice. It's really like complementing the sculpt a lot. Like here, I don't like this line here. I would make it cleaner, but it's minor comment, so you know. It's really nice overall. Very well painted. Next one. Okay, see, like today we have the upstream. Okay, this one. What can I say about this one? I feel like it lacks a little bit of shadows, really, and maybe like for the this is really nicely painted, right? Like on the basic level, I would say it is a clean painting. The colors are nice, and it's very interesting. Like the red armor and green eyes look very good. His white hair is nice also, and we can see like the ambient light, I think, on his hair, like the armor is bouncing out the red color, so it shows on his hair, and that's nice. But I think that the simplest and most basic thing I think could be added to this painting is black lining. So basically taking a darker color, it don't have to be black, but taking some kind of darker color, it may be black. I usually tend to take like some violet, or I take base color and mix in a little bit of violet or black or blue, and just painting the lines between the surfaces on the miniature to add some definition. Like, I won't go very straight because I'm painting with my mouse, and that would take me forever to paint it very accurately. Wait, which one was yours? I don't remember. I didn't check the stoning. Sorry. 1 second. Oh, Walter Wonder. I basically, well, you can go back, but my like most like, I think that I did maybe one comment, and it was about her abs showing too strong basically. So that's why I'm joking that today is the abs stream, because I'm commenting a lot about the muscles on the miniatures. So I will just do like the basic black lining, right? So to show you the impact of it on the miniature. Just give me a sec. This may look boring, but the outcome will be very nice. His face, I wouldn't change the face, but just add the black lines over the details. And what does the black lining to the miniature? It basically displays all of the shapes. It makes everything more like easy to read for your eye, because you're able to see all of the surfaces right away. I don't know what kind of texture is right here, so I'll just paint lines. And see, like here, when we look from far away, we our eye read this shape as a round shape, right? But if you will look closer, it has very interesting shapes over here. It's very nice example of armor. So if we add the black lining all around, it's just visible right away for our eyes. So black lining just helps to display all of the different shapes on the miniature, right? Give me one minute more. I will just try to quickly finish it. I will do the general lines. And I'm not sure like why like it's not always very intuitive for people to do this, but you know, the miniatures are very small, and we just need to sometimes we need to help people to be able to recognize all of the properties of sculpt. So it's good to blackline, guys. It's like another way of contrasting your miniature, to just basically showing off the elements of the sculpt. And see, right now we can see all of the shapes, all of the different shapes, and it's easier to read and see. like the colors, all of the colors are in their places. Like it doesn't change. It's not a lot, but it has a big impact on the miniature. See, it's instantly more interesting. 1 sec. Yes, we have. It's Muscle Week. We should eat a lot of meat to supplement. So see, like I wouldn't do much over here. I would do just the black lining, and sometimes it may be tedious. It's good to do very thin lines. Sometimes it may be hard. Sometimes maybe you would have to like practice a little bit, but it will be worth in the end. And maybe buy a little brush. Maybe Kolinsky, and just try to practice black lining. It will help the miniature a lot. See, the difference is quite big, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. Well, sorry guys. It's oh, I did the whole. Oh, okay. I think that I finished. Oh no, I didn't finish. Okay. So I think that I have 2 more. Yes, I have 2 more. I will leave those guys to the end. Okay, so for Gaia, this is a finished painting. So really good job. I did the feedback for her some time ago on my stream, so I won't dwell on this too much because it's basically the same things I said before, and like the only feedback left for here that I would still change is adding some more color on the elements, like on the sides of the composition, because right now the main focus hits on her of this side of her body, and it's visible the most, and then we go to the baby, and it's pink, so pink with a spot of yellow, so it's interesting for our eyes as well. And you see, like this here, the brown here is like completely uninteresting background, and it contains a lot of details which we just don't notice right away, just because it's not contrasted with any kind of color, right? So I would go and just add some more colors, and like here we have the main composition, and the yellows and greens are the main hit of color. And to keep everything like not to create too much color chaos, we can take this family of color and use different colors of it on some details, basically. So we can take maybe some reddish color, maybe more desaturated, and paint it on the bird. Like I appreciate the green on the bird. I think that it's interesting choice, but I would add. Why can't I paint? But I would actually add a little bit of a red on her to make it more interesting. And it won't be like very big change because we have brown all around, but it will be just it would just bring the attention to this element, which is, I think, very interesting, maybe not the most important, but it shows the I think that this element of the like the bird feeding, the caring for the baby is maybe a way to amplify a connection of the Gaia and the child. So I think that it's worth maybe displaying it a little bit more. Maybe this is the issue of the photos as well, and in reality maybe the colors are more visible, but I will just go more with the greens and the yellows. Like, you know, the green don't have to be very strong, because we don't want to take away from the green on her body, but I would add even more, maybe here and here, just to make it more interesting, right? Sorry guys, just to make it more interesting. And maybe some green leaves here, maybe some yellow leaves, just to make it more interesting, because we have really a lot of detail all around, and it wasn't that much displayed, so I will do something like that. And see, we still have the main focus on these elements, but we can see like it's more interesting over here right now. And we took like the colors we basically had on the work before, and just repainted, like amplify everything. Yes, the VOD of the stream will be up for 2 weeks on stream on Steam, I think, and then I'm re-uploading everything on my YouTube channel. It may take me like a week or a few days, but all of my streams will be on my YouTube channel. Yes, so this is the Gaia, and basically this is the same feedback I gave, sorry, on one of my previous streams, but I think that it was like good to display like this here again with finished everything else. And these guys over here, I think that the background is making like the color of the background is like not serving this picture very well, just because everything here is basically gray with some colorful elements. So I will take the picture on some other surface. Okay, so what are the strong points of this sculpt? Colors are very nice, and the contrast between orange and blues is very interesting. First of all, what I would do, I would make more, I would shade more the terrain, because I feel like this lacks a little bit of the vignette effect, which I think that should like it should display better the characters, and now the characters are basically very like this base is like basically a shape on which the miniatures are standing, and it's not serving, like it's not doing anything for the miniatures, and everything we place in the composition should do something. So I would try to like make some points darker, especially like because we have the shiny mushrooms, right? So we should let the mushrooms shine, and make the terrain everywhere around darker to create some contrast, basically. And if the shadowed elements would be more dark in here, we would get the better definition of the different surfaces here, right? Because we have basically, these are like stairs, maybe we can say that these are stairs, but we don't see like the different levels of this base, because everything is in the same color basically. So if we would paint even with a airbrush the dark areas, then we would first of all get better definition, and we could like broaden like we could place a spotlight on the miniatures by placing more shadows around the borders of the composition. So because we don't need to see this corner here or this corner here, we need to see the miniatures, so we can make the corners much darker to be able to enjoy the miniatures much more. And I will keep the shine on the mushrooms again, and because we got stronger shadows, the mushrooms will be more visible, and the OSL on them will be more legit, right? Because we have the shadow and we have the darkness, so now we can easily see the shininess and the OSL, right? So it will read much better, I think. Yeah. See it, and now we can see it much better as something shiny, basically. Put like, it's a quick sketch, but if it was like if it was more consequential, then it would read even better as OSL. So I will just add the things here and around. Sorry guys, it must take some time just to get the end effect and result. See, just painting the frames around the OSL to show that it is shiny. See? So first of all, I would do like the shading on the unnecessary surfaces, or on the surfaces that could display the topography of the base. Second of all, I would paint like darker frames around their feet to create like maybe strong shadow, slight shadow, but it would also like place them on the base, because I feel like right now they are a little bit like floating there, like in my mind they work like when you have the video game and you turn off the shading, then your miniature is not then your character is not casting any shadows, and I feel, and sometimes, and you feel like it's flowing just because you don't see the reference between the character and the surface he's going through, and I feel like it's the similar thing with these guys. So I would maybe even paint on the shadow a little bit, just to show that they are standing here, right? Because we have very shaded situation right now, and so we should display the shadow they are casting, basically. And you see, I didn't change anything with painting of the miniatures. Like I kept their lighting very general, but just painting the base a little bit more, just introduced a lot more ambience. Yeah. So you did a great job anyway. Just some slight changes, right? Yeah, and I think that you could keep the general lighting on these guys, and because they may be standing in the lighting actually, and if you would like to introduce some storytelling, you could add stronger shading just on this guy, because he could be like stepping into the shadows, right? Because he's placed on the most lower space. So if he was shaded much stronger than the rest of the guys, then it would show that he is stepping into the shadows basically. So this is the some kind of storytelling you could introduce with the level of shading of your miniatures basically. So, and maybe shading this guy a little bit. So if you would like to change or add some kind of storytelling, then you could just basically shade this guy and leave those guys unshaded. So this is it basically from me. And the painting is really nice, like the color choices are great. You should consider taking your pictures on the black background, because this would help a lot. And yeah, you did a really good job with this, really nice. And maybe the painting of the base is not optimal for displaying it, but you did one good thing with it, which is not overdoing the size of the base. So the size is actually pretty good. Just making reducing its overall visual size with some shading would just complement it perfectly. But usually when people go into doing the dioramas or vignettes, they tend to overdo the size of the base, and you did a great job with picking the size, because it fits the model very well. Even having the free space here works, because the shape is nice of the base, so this is really nice, but it's just too light. Maybe I could even take a little bit the shadows down. See? And the size is really good, the levels are very nice, like it's not boring, it's actually interesting, and it's telling some kind of story, but just adding some shading would amplify everything. So we are on the right track, and it's really good. And if Trent commented on your diorama, then you went to the right person, because he's the champion of dioramas, right? So yeah, this is it for today. I will just take a look if we got anything new. Okay, we have Daenerys, so I will. Oh my god, I did a mistake. So I will maybe talk about her a little bit, but she is in, I would say, not very advanced work in progress. Like the okay, so what I would advise on her, her skin tone is really nice. I would fill her hair with some kind of color, right? And paint the color of her cloth jewelry, like clothing jewelry, just to have all of the the spots of color on her. I know that her hair will be white, so basically you would just have to add a little bit of gray on over here, but anyway, I would just add all of the colors to have in place to be able to see if the contrasts are working and if the painting is interesting for the eye. So I would paint the remaining elements, and I think that your skin tones are very good, but I would paint in her brows. I think that she had dark browns in the movie. I mean in the series. So I would paint them too, because brows are very important feature, as you may know, because I like to ramble about that. But eyebrows are very important feature in our faces, and adding them actually change a lot. I have the wrong color. Give me a second. Maybe this would work. So I would add the brows. Oops, too much. I would add the brows to see if it's working. And if the contrasts are nice on the miniature. Not that, multiply. Okay, so adding the brows, and we can see right away that now her framing of her eyes is like too light. She has no eyelashes, so adding the eyelashes, like basically with painting the busts, I like to add the spots of color. I don't remember how her eye makeup looked like, so you know, and it's maybe not perfect. But when painting the thank you for the ride, Didi. But when painting the busts, when painting the faces, I like to place the strategic surfaces, spots of color all around, even just in form of sketch, just to be able to recognize if the contrasts I'm going for are right. So which are the spots are brows, eyelashes, irises, like the irises, and well, basically the color in the eye, right, and lips. And you are able then to judge then if your highlights on the skin are looking right, because sometimes we may paint something and then add more colors all around, or add the facial features, and everything on the miniature works in relation to everything else around. So we won't be able to have anything finished, like to paint something to finish before we add everything around, just because the bordering colors may change the end result of our contrasts on our skin tones, for example. So you know, we won't be able to paint something correctly unless we fill everything with the color all around. So yeah, I would like this painting goes in a really nice direction, and I like it. Her clothing is very interesting. I think that the highlighting on her face is good as well. Just try to feel all of the colors around to see how it goes, right? And the painting of the hair will be a challenge later, because painting the gray hair is not easy, and to get the right values all around. So this is something you will have to try to execute later. So good direction. Big props. I like it. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything right now. I would just try to push further the painting. And after you will get the surfaces painted more, I think that I would maybe add some more shading to her nose, because she had very small nose in the series, and right now the unshaded nose looks a little bit bigger, I think. So I would add slight shadows all around her nose, and maybe that's it. Like, see, here, and the nose would look smaller instantly. And just to later take the portrait of the actress and try to bring the similarity of the facial features. Okay, I'm not painting with oils, so it's harder for me to take it under the consideration. But yeah, you're going in the right direction. I like it a lot, so proceed. Please proceed, and please post the progress photos. Yeah, but you know, like the risk of doing too dark, everything too dark, like it's the same on all of the all of the steps, on each of the steps of the painting. So you know, if you are afraid to paint something in the wrong color, then unless you will do it, you will never know if you painted it the right color or no. So it doesn't matter if you will do it earlier or later in the painting, and sometimes doing something earlier may help to get it right faster. Yeah, so I know, well, it's your process, and you know, it's just my feedback, and you may take it under consideration but you don't have to, right? So yeah, but your direction is right, and I like it a lot, so go and paint more. Yeah, so I think that I got everything. For everyone who just joined me, I invite you all for to join my Discord channel and post your work in progress photos and finished paintings on my channel. I will comment on them on one of my next incoming streams. So you can find the invitation under my information tab under my stream. So thank you guys for coming and for watching my stream. And the next stream will be on Friday or Saturday. I will post about it on my Discord channel, so please go there and check it out from time to time. And if you have any suggestions or ideas about stuff you would like me to talk about, then please post the suggestions there. And thank you guys again. See you next time. Bye bye.